with a prayer flume. We should have a sign as big as the one in Times Square forewarning the public of your vicious villainy. You can't even get the caption right, and the next one, Cecilia Mastrovilli. You can't even get that caption right. It is Glendora versus Cecilia Mastrovilli, Tabat Salako, Jill DeCrenzer, and Officer Lewis of Peekskill Police Department. DeCrenzer and Officer Lewis. The clerk, Paul Friedman, in the small claims court in White Plains could not read either. If you had read our papers and done your homework as you are supposed to, instead of cheating us, you would know that the caption yourselves. And once you people make a stupid, you do not correct it. These stupids just generate. You have gone the limit in dehumanization, and the vehicle and traffic legal has to extract money from the public to finance your crimes. You do all this evil and you get paid $130,000 circa a year, and your dirty law clerk's about $70,000 a year. Is this mob rule? Is it mafia? You should join Barron at Dannemora. And you are the next up to sue. Glendora's already sued Kenneth W. Rudolph. He should have known enough to recuse. Look at his papers. Charles F. Dolan, Eacock, Mastrovilli, and Peter Lane is next. And what have you earned? Bitterness of language, caustic verbiage, corrosive speech, biting resentfulness, hostile thought, acidity in report. That's what you have earned from the public. The Westchester and Putnam County court clerks will help you lose the record. They will do that. When you write down the truth about the bads that these judges do and clerks, they lose the record. Oh, we can't find it. Oh, we don't know what happened to it. But Glendora has many dupes. Written, audio taped, videotaped, and on the internet. Internet, www.chatwithglendora.com, and internet YouTube. /chatwithglendora, one word. You can never escape the dismal record that you have made. At Goshen, Glendora had the season's epithets. She had Little Angel for Angelillo. She had Christmas Tree for Tannenbaum. And now she should have said Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You're robbing Glendora, the latest being $5,000, can cast her into informer pauperous. And here you are at $130,000 a year, 3 times 5, and 70,000 times a year, doubled. Here you are robbing a widow of her justly awarded $5,000. How does that make you feel? Just how do you feel? They anxiously await you where Callaghy went on November 30th, 2006. What has come out of you is not worth 2 cents. You ask for cost. You will have to specify for what. Glendora does not believe it. Where's the proof? Callaghy still owes Glendora $100 for discovery in 1995 and 9% statutory interest on $350 since 1995. Remember, there is still no order on ECOP. The 4 pages are a nullity. Nothing was signed. You do not do your work. You throw off all restraint for selfishness. You throw it to a juvenile-minded, lawless clerk. Traitorous with utter laxity of morals. And even though I have been scrutinizing crooked courts since 1993 as a monitor for the Fund for Modern Courts, I am presently unable to comprehend how deeply this corruption goes. It is abyssal, as unfathomable as the bottom waters of the deep sea. Glendora monitored circa 26 judges of the Westchester Supreme and County Courts. Credulity was strained to the snap point as judge after judge ignored facts, law, and justice, announcing fake judgments of egotism and self-interest, pulverizing the public. And at a glance at the Westchester Courthouse causes a shiver of 19 floors of illegal legal papers. The glance is aggravated by the new extension, which is more of the same. MBA, more bad advice. Glendora would like to do to you what she accomplished with Zabazi and unprincipled Schwersky, his law clerk, with their complete insensibility to ethics. You people had bad parents. You never were taught what was right and what is wrong. You don't know the difference from right and wrong. You just plainly don't know the difference between right and wrong. You had bad parents. We're up to page 38. People who cannot do their job bulge from 111 Grove Street to 120 Grand Street. That too is filled with depravity, to where you add your share 4 times a year. Glendora has seen the luxurious penthouse for surrogate with its balcony and knows that is the conduit that did not get to Suzanne McCormick the $24 million that her husband left her in 1987. Watch a chat with Glendora, number 4400 to 4450. Something is very wrong with the Westchester Circuit Court. Who did steal the money? Bankers Trust, White Case Law Firm, Brewster, Emanuele, Scarpino, court clerks, the court attorneys. Who did take the $24 million? 18 years ago. Who did take it? Get back to the other fallen courts. What do you have to say about them? Did they get paid? Did you get paid? Well, they got something. Or the party did. That is all that we can figure. Yet it could have been just their barbarian spite, malice, and prejudice, because you show them up with no oath. They can't read. Their paper is so juvenile. It is kid stuff. A 5th grader could have done better. It's decayed. It smells. It's like mafia. It's like mob. Are the courts controlled by the mob? It breaks America's heart. Is it treason? Yes. They cannot be trusted. They failed their country. They failed the taxpayers. It is rigged. Yes, it is fixed. It is a sham. Yes, they call people to court. And they double-cross them when the people get there. And they steal our tax money to run the sham. You said they were no good. You were right, but you abided and you gave them the benefit of the doubt. There is no doubt left anymore. It is such an ugly existence. What worse job is there in the world than to be a lawyer and a judge, or a judge? It does not augur well for them at the end of their lives, to wit, Robert M. Callaghan, who died in dishonor. They have no state license. Lawyers have no state license. Medical doctors have a state license. Veterinarians have a state license. Lawyers do not. All they have is a union card from an odious, malicious union called the American Bar Association. That's all it is. What will you do about it, Glendora? Well, I'll tell everybody on TV and on the World Web. And I'll tell the Commission on Judicial Conduct, but they are just as corrupt as the appellate term. All of them are the same. Will you sue them? Yes, I'll sue them. That's good. Where? Federal court. You already sued Rudolph. Well, sue them again. Where do you go when judges break the law? Where do you go when judges break the law? Disgusting they are. They are dismal failures. Good people do not like them, and good people pray for their recovery. I pray for your recovery. Even their partners in guilt do not like them. They don't like themselves. You still have Rye and Peter Lane to do, Rudolph. You still have those to ruin. They have been 4 years. Yes, that case has been in the appellate term for 4 years. Isn't it terrific? Even those of their same mold do not like them. And believe me, folks, that's pretty moldy. Decent people cannot expect decency from them. Right? They are sold souls. Yes, long before, folks, you ever see them in the court, their souls have been sold. They're not going to get what you went for. Justice. Their souls have been sold long before you got there. Their downward spiral vortex accelerates faster than 32 feet per second, and the sinister man and woman in the jury's box travel with them. What is your income per month? Mine? Mine is about $2,200. What is theirs? About $12,000. About $12,000 a month they get. And they stole $5,000 from you? Yes. Isn't that bullying? It is bullying. It is bullying. They are bullies. It's Mephisto, and it's big time. They look so phony in their black dresses, filing into the courtroom carrying papers. In fraud we trust. What a sham. I watched them file into the courtroom and sit down at the benches. It's a masquerade, it's a sham, and it's a racket. Yuck. They have ruined our country. Courts and justice are the backbone of our country, and they don't have backbones. They can't go to chiropractors. They don't have a backbone. It's not funny. The sons of mothers and fathers are killed in wars by them. They are pawns of the international bankers. Yes, definitely. We found that out when we sued 10 of the worst international bankers. Rothschild, Lazard Frere, Warburg Pincus, David Rockefeller, Lehman Brothers, Goldman Sachs, the Federal Reserve System, Alan Greenspan, the World Bank, the Trilateral Commission, the Council on Foreign Relations. We sued them all, and we found out who was running the courts. All your friends who eyewitnessed the oral arguments on December 6th will now know the truth about you. Together with the TV viewers and the World Wide Web viewers. Hollow black robes. Even what I know about them, after scrutinizing them for 13 years, I am astounded at the dismal depth of their depravity. At the dismal depth of their depravity. And we don't even know the half of it. They are nobodies. Did you hear about all the heads that were floating in the Hudson River? And they were all singing, "I Ain't Got Nobody"? This was Whitman's grand inauguration to the mass scam, December the 6th. So what are they going to buy with the $5,000 and the $3,000 they so acquisitively grumbled after with their bony Midas finger? What are they going to buy with it, folks? Tainted money in their avaricious phalanges. How much of it did they get? Thank you for showing us what you are. We will never be deceived again. Now this is January, named after Janus, the Roman god. His head he had one face going this way, and he had one face going this way. One face was facing December, the old year, and the other face was facing January, the new year. And that's what they are, double-faced. Rudolph, Whitman, McCabe, Tannenbaum, Angelillo, and the two-faced law clerks. We knew what they were made of, zilch, yet we were foolish enough to trust them again. Who would have thought they would have been dirty enough to steal $5,000 from a widow, 78 years old? They will follow Callaghan. We knew. Now our friends know. They are detestable, abominable. They do not know. There has to be a trial in small claims. Can you imagine that? I feel because Toman didn't have a trial, dum-dum. And they let him go. And they never even mention it in their 4 pages that were not signed, that are, of course, a complete nullity. They too should be sanctioned for misrepresentation. It is deplorable how those liar-for-hire law clerks slither around the law. They are snakes, and they're loafers too. Their putrid, decadent smell goes across the boundaries of New York State. Yes, it does. You will be smelled beyond the boundaries of New York State. To Oregon, to New Mexico, to Texas, to Washington, D.C., to Maryland. No boundaries all over the world. They are caught. They are caught badly. And they are so foul, they cannot extricate themselves. That is the horrible truth. They are so deeply into this that even if they wanted to get out of it, they're unable to. But prayer could work. The miracle. They could be saved. They could add 7 bodies to our side. If we could save those people, we would have 7 bodies on our side, the good side. But they are so gutted. No, they could be rebuilt. Breathe on them breath of God, fill them with life anew, that they may love as thou dost love, and do what thou wouldst do. We are up to page 46, and we had best take a break. break is over, folks. You know, there could be an afflatus. There could be an afflatus. There could be a divine imparting of knowledge. There could be an overpowering, supernatural influence. There could be. There could be an epiphany, and this is January, around about 5th, epiphany. Look at the money that their poor mummies and daddies wasted sending them to law school. And they don't even have a license by New York State. They instead plead their lives to the ABA evil. And that's not the American Bread Association, although it's close. To the bankruptcy of the U.S., the big secret, the Uniform Commercial Code, no constitution, just administrators. They're really not judges, they're just administrators of the bankruptcy, the United States. And they can't even read, and they are illiterate, and they don't know the law that you have to have a trial in small claims court. They can't. They turn a caption upside down, the last defendant on top and the lead defendant on the bottom. Ho ho, hee hee, ha ha. They are uneducated bumpkins, no oath, no bond, no court of record, a bad risk to the insurer. Zai Zai. They not only sold their souls, they sold their minds, their brains are addled. And what does that mean, addled? Mush, empty, rotten, sulfur dioxide. Do not expect good on the wry action. They robbed a poor person of $5,000. It's abhorrent, venom, vicious, vile, virulent, viscous, and vice. That's the appellate term, 9th and 10th Judicial District, Supreme Court, State of New York. Angelino, McCabe, Tannenbaum, Rudolph, and Lippman. Are you sure they can be cleaned out and be useful humans? Yeah. God could work a catharsis. Praying for them. Lost, poor, pathetic, pitiful, putrid souls every day. Feels good. And here's a good prayer, and it's one of the best. Oh, this is 6 verses, and every verse is so pertinent. I don't know which verse to read to you. They're all so good. Dear Lord and Father of mankind, forgive our foolish ways. Reclothe us in our rightful mind, in pure laws thy service find. In deep reverence praise. Every verse is so good, folks. Well, I sent all 6 verses to them. I hope it reaches them and cleans them out. It is too bad that they cannot hear the sweet melody. They miss all of the sweet melody of this beautiful, rich life that God gave them. And it is so affecting and affected. They are one of the worst evils that this country has. The worst, along with the kidnapping of our government by gangsters. They, the appellate term, 9th and 10th judicial districts, are just a tip of the iceberg on the abyss, the deep, immeasurable chasm and void, the vast intellectual and moral void. Acquisitive, avaricious, greedy, grasping, groveling. They made such fools of themselves. Yuck! God sent us on the mission, expose. It was a Herculean catch, 7 of them, plus all the sponges at 141 Livingston Street, $70,000 a head. Their sold existences. Mission accomplished, 1040. There is no doubt anymore. They are. Donners, they will rot with Caligari. Keep selling your insides, Toman, Lane, Voch, Sarok, amanuenses, too. We are the only ones who care anything about you. Page 47. Sarok says that he served a notice of entry. Well, he might have served a notice of entry, but he had no proof of entry. It's a broken world, and I guess we've got to turn our backs on it and think of the good in the world. Yeah. How many more pages do you have to articulate of jot thoughts and excoriations? I have 20 more. We'll save them for Glendora versus Cecilia Mastrorilli. A fortiori. Wherefore, therefore, and ergo, with the greater force, all the more, it is even more certain and necessary that McCabe, Lippmann, Rudolph acknowledge their nullity, write their own paper, admit, repent, reform, recast, do their duty, oath and bond, the first time in their souls, by awarding Glendora the $3,000 damages that Ecock's breach of contract caused her, by punishing her something about Toman and Caligari posthumously, $3,000 sanctions, and the Uniform Justice Court Act 1801 Exact, and by granting Glendora all further relief just and proper. And this was written on January the 11th, 2 or 3 days ago, and it took a day or so to copy it, and it's opus 1453. It took 27 hours, $32, and the internet numbers are what? Can you see them? 4,512, around there. The chat with Glendora. Lead people to be perfect. Stop the injustice in the courts. Stop the cruelty to the animals, and sue judges when they break the law. And it has been printed and collated, and it's ready to be notarized. And these are the taxes that I keep track of. Look at this, folks. The least little thing, you go out and you got to pay the state 10%. You know, you have to tithe to the state. Well, it's almost 10%. It's 8%. And look what they do with it. Look what they do with the money that we give them, that they extort from us. That's one page of them, and this is for November. See all of these taxes? When I bought my camcorder, what did I have to pay the state? I had to pay the state $24 just because I wanted the camcorder, is that right? And what did they do with the $24? They double-cross you. All the way through, they double-cross you. And that's it. I love you, and I am rooting for you, and I am looking out for you, And I want you to be totally happy in 2007, and I think that you can be. Spend your alone time with God the first thing in the morning. Every 15 minutes rejoice about something, and in between count the pure thoughts. They're not going to get away with it, folks. They are not going to get away with it. We are here and we are watching, and their record is before you all. Okie doke. If you enjoyed the show tonight, tell all your friends. If you didn't, keep it our little secret. This is Glendora, Chat with Glendora, on 53 TV stations, I guess. Maybe it's 54 or 5. And on the 2 internets, chatwithglendora.com and internet, youtube.com. Chat with Glendora, one word. You're really a great person, and we can work on it and bring it out. And we can get you all the success and the wealth and the happiness and the joy that you are looking for. Amen.